Yeah, I mean, if you're joining us again, we had a bit of a technical issue, so we had to start again from. So this is part three of the Common Spurs TV podcast. We had some technical issues, and we're streaming again. Right, so we're talking about the match and reviewing, and before we went off air, we talked about how strong a side we have now in terms of the personnel we have in each position, and the fact that we are now able to make impactful changes. And when people come on during the match, you can see the difference straight off, And Deji, I mean, you were saying about, I think it was Richarlison came on, Bissouma came on, and then we had Perisic as well, And
That's right.
and then, like I was saying earlier on, it's so good in the sense that we were able to have two changes of formation in the course of the match, and they even brought on Mora as well for Emerson, that was yeah. So that's
Yes.
quite good to see,
That's solid up the right side. That's solid up the right side. Because we were being hit on that right side.
Yes.
Emerson was not playing his balls. That's solid up the right side, so they could not be attacking us. If you look at their second goal came from an error from Emerson not clearing the ball, and it came from their right side so easily from their right side, or I would say from our right side to left.
I think Kulusevski gave the ball away, or he was closed down, and they lost the ball in that area, and then they switched it to their right, our left hand side, and then we didn't have
Absolutely.
we had everyone like banked up in that position, so we just left.
I was going to ask, when we went to four at the back, who was at left back? Because that was the problem. There was a gaping hole. Yes, Kulusevski lost the ball on our right side, and then the ball
Yes.
came across to our left, and there was just this great big hole there. So was it Davis who went to left back or what?
Davis was
Good
not
question.
covering James, and in between James and Sterling, there was a gap. Nobody covered up. Nobody came to close up to Sterling. So Sterling had an easy pass to give to James, and James had an easy one-on-one against Lloris. It was the movement was so quick. We were sleeping. We were sleeping in defense. That's why Don Conte now went to a back four, because Davis was not covering. So now he decided to bring up Pulisic and remove Davis. So we now went back to a back three, and we were more solid. We were more solid, which gave us the freedom to bring up Bosnia, and which gave us the freedom to be able to attack easier, to go forward, and quicker in transition. We were quicker to be able to go forward in transition. And that's why they now lost a major player of theirs, Conte, marking two plays. Because if you watch the game clearly, from the was field player that could take the ball from transition so quickly. So they could be adjusting quite easily. Because our two midfielders, if you look at them, they're both defensively thinking, not advancing the ball quickly forward, which is a problem we have. That's why I think from now on, I think the middle starting positions will be Bentancur and Basuma. And I've said it from even before, even during preseason. I said, give Basuma a few games, 2-3 games into the season, and Don Conte will be starting him. And to be truthful with you, everybody says, Erberg did nothing. Erberg was he held his own, apart from scoring the goal.
He scored the equalizing goal, yeah.
You know,
Guys, I mean, okay, let me just sort of throw the cat among the pigeons here for a minute and just sort of shift the conversation a little bit. If you think about it, right, why do most managers always play Hoiberg? You know, because you would think that, I mean, in that midfield, I mean, as a lay person who's not a football tactician, or I just watch soccer and I just enjoy it. I would rather have a Bissouma, Bentancur midfield rather than a Bentancur, what's the word, Højbjerg midfield, because I just feel that that would be a much more effective midfield, and we'll be able to control matches because we have a bit of steel in both of them. At the same time, we had flair, So, I mean, Chuma, you look at you're itching to say something.
I was going to say it's something that Falabi alluded to before, which is loyalty. And I know Ben said it as well. Keep the same side from last season. You say, why do managers play Højbjerg? One manager played him, a certain Jose Mourinho, because he destroys and gives. He destroys and gives. He doesn't do anything fancy. And that's a Mourinho midfield. Destroy, give. Destroy and give. When Conte came in, you had Skip and him. And you could hear Conte effusively praising Skip every single time because he liked the boys progressing of the ball. But he felt, okay, I've got someone else. The minute I can upgrade, but what happened was Bentancur comes in, Skip is injured for the season. What does he do? He goes and buys Bissouma. It's not a coincidence that he bought Bissouma. I have nothing against Højbjerg. I've liked him since I saw him at Bayern Munich when he was younger. I felt he was more technical when he was in Bayern Munich under Pep, and he was a young boy. But when he came to Southampton, he embraced this Viking tackling, hard man thing, and ever since then, he does it a lot. But in certain games, you need that. But certain games, you just need this guy. And last season, when Brighton played us at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Bissouma destroyed two midfielders. He killed us. And it was just the fact that his team went up to his level. If not, they could have taken the 3 points in one of the games. They ended up taking it later on. But Bissouma was a standout each time, and he broke lines. He defended. He was doing both. He was in basketball. They say a two-way player. He was a two-way player, defending, passing, moving, giving, going to the box. So I see Bissouma coming in. Maybe Bissouma and Højbjerg, but everyone can see that Bentancur has this thing.
If you're joining us for the first time, this is Common Spurs TV. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button, showing at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It was shown on the left-hand corner of my screen. But if you look on your screen, you'll see it on the bottom right-hand corner, left-hand corner rather. So yes, so please subscribe and share this with your colleagues and leave your comments. And if you're joining us for the first time, let's know where you're calling or watching from, and leave a comment and join the conversation. We're live on YouTube, and we also stream live to my personal page on Facebook, and my personal page is Soji Fagade. If you go there, you live stream right there. Right now, what was that argument about? We had Conte and Tuchel being yellow carded at some point during the second half. Does anyone know?
Yeah, I think I know how it started. Tuchel was pissed that Conte went celebrating out of his own touchline area.
Right.
And then Tuchel Tuchel, and Tuchel came at Conte. So that was that. Now, when they now went ahead, of course, Tuchel took a sprint beyond our technical area all the way out to celebrate with the fans, which Conte completely ignored. So that was what happened in the first place. Both of them were yellow carded for going at each other when Conte stepped into their technical area or out of his own in celebration. That's what the first yellow card was.
Yeah, it did turn out end. We know that there's no love lost between Tottenham and Chelsea. So yes, I love the fact that we kind of stood up the counted when it mattered, and that final goal. I just thought it was just, it when you have a wave of relief come over you, I didn't want us to lose that match. It was just, it felt like a win. That draw felt. Still that point at the end actually felt like a win. Ben.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. And actually, I while we were down, I actually heard from our friend Tuchel why he was upset at the end and why they almost came to blows. He claims that when Conte shook his hand, he wasn't looking at him. What is he? Are they married or something? I don't understand that. He said that Conte didn't look into his eyes. Unbelievable.
Really? Like he has an obligation to look into his eyes to have a handshake, right?
He means it. To show that he means it. I don't know, but hopefully they might take away the red card. They might take it away from Conte because Conte did nothing.
No, they're both keeping those red cards, guys.
Was it a straight red card or second yellow card?
No, it's a yellow card, then a straight red. It was straight red.
No, they both got red cards. They both got red cards at the end.
Straight red.
Did they both get a red card?
Yeah, they both got red. Yes.
Straight reds.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure. Did they both get a red card? I know.
Yeah, they both got red cards. Yes.
They both did. They both did. Yeah, they both did.
Good. Did they both get a straight red card, or did they both get a yellow card and then a red card?
Straight red, both.
Straight reds.
Both
Straight red.
Both straight red. Both straight red.
Straight red. Both straight red.
Then I have no problems. And Tutu, it will get a double red card when it comes to the top of the stadium. Of course, I will personally pay the ref. Yes, he will get a red card again. Who is he?
That was quite thirsty for both managers. I enjoyed the match. Even though I felt, at the beginning of the match, before the match, I was really confident that we would win. I actually thought we would actually go there and take the game to them. But we started quite well, and then suddenly Chelsea kind of took over, and we just couldn't get a really strong foothold. We just couldn't get out. There was no outlet. Every time we had the ball at the back, we couldn't really play out the back, and they kept pressing us. And before you string two passes together, the ball was back with them. We just couldn't hold on to the ball. Now, I'm not sure how we'll deal with that going forward when we face teams that are so good, A, in possession, and B, when they're very good at pressing you when you are in possession. And we just couldn't seem to get out. But okay, fine. We had a few touches that kind of led to a counter attack, but we didn't really create that many chances today. That was my worry about that match. We didn't create a lot of chances.
The home game. Derby's always like that. Sorry, derbies. You really. This was like a real derby match. The one we played against Arsenal at the end of the season wasn't a derby. We thrashed them. But normally, when you go into derbies, your form goes out the window. Everything goes out the window, and everyone's all up for it, and it's usually very tight. So that's what happens normally. So that's the way we've got to look at this match. It was a derby, and it was at the bridge. There's lots of history. No matter what kind of psychologists you talk to, the players talk to, it's always going to be on their mind. We've only won there in the past 30 years once, so that's always going to be on their minds.
38.
So I think that, even more. So I think we've got to look at it in that context, and that we've got to draw out of a derby, a London derby with Chelsea. It's got to be good. It's got to be good. Last season we dealt with teams that do what you said you have worries about. City couldn't beat it. We beat them home and away, and Liverpool we drew with them twice. So those are the two top teams ahead of us. And think about it, we got beat 3 times by Chelsea and finished 3 points behind them last season, and in the Champions League
4 times
as well.
4 times.
Yeah, well, 4 times, right? 4 times. But we ended up 3 points behind them, 3 points, and in Champions League position. So I wasn't altogether worried about today's match because it's 1 match out of 38. I was not worried at all.
And it's so early on in the season as well.
Yeah,
no one's realized. Look at Chelsea. Look at Arsenal. They have usually build up to these derbies. You have like 5 to 10 games, and then you get Chelsea around November,
Absolutely.
something like that. November, we usually play them November, December, those times. So we're getting them in the first month, and we didn't lose. So it's something different to me.
I think the season is shaped well. The prospects on the first game, even though we went behind, but I kind of remain confident that we will win when we end up winning. When we went behind today, I had the same sort of confidence that we'll turn it around. I actually thought we'll win that match, but hey, it didn't turn out that way. But I think we gave a very, very good account of ourselves, and that never say die spirit, it's just really, really good. Talk me through Højbjerg's goal. We had this argument about Bentancur fouling, what's that? Havertz or something, And obviously the referee saw it and felt that look, he got a touch on the ball, and played on, and that was like 2 years later, and we went to go and score, and they come back and say, oh, we had a foul up at our end. I'm thinking, where did that come from? Did you see that?
Yeah, completely. Look, I saw it. I didn't see the touch by Bentancur, but I believe the ref must have seen it.
Yes.
So the ref believed that he got his toe to the ball, and that's all there is to it. He got his toe to the ball, we counter-attacked, and we scored. I think that was the same one that they talked about, the offside, because there was also that. They said that, was it Richarlison or who was supposed to be in an offside position?
Yeah, Richarlison.
And Tuchel was saying that he moved towards the ball. He had his back to the ball when he went into the net, and he didn't move. He was in an offside position, but he didn't move towards the ball. So he's not offside, and he wasn't blocking the keeper. It didn't pass through his legs. I think it was a good goal. I didn't see the touch on the ball by Bentancur, but
actually, they had a replay, and it showed. And then they showed the referee actually pointing to the fact that look, it got a touch, play on basically,
Yeah.
So get on with it,
The referee clearly pointed at that tackle, and he said, continue. He pointed at the tackle, and he said, look, I've seen the touch. It was a clear tackle. Continue. And you don't, even in school, you're taught to play to the whistle, not to play to what you think on the field. Play to the whistle. There had been no whistle. And Chelsea, they played to the whistle. And as the commentators said, between that tackle and when we scored was 44 seconds.
It's like an eternity.
Tuchel was just trying to find an excuse for his team. His team lost 2 points, for fuck's sake. So, pardon my French, but they lost 2 points, and that's the problem. So he's trying to look for an excuse for his players. At the end of it, we were better than them. Yeah, we were better than them.
They had chances to them, and he's doing the Klopp thing now. Yeah. And as soon as the game is over, Klopp starts thing. Tuchel does exactly the same. He starts whinging. If he had won this game 5-0, he would be crowing about how good his team was, and it's the same thing. Something in the water, I think.
It's a German thing. So, we've seen it. Coaches do the same thing. They just
this thing of we deserve to win. People deserve to win. He's saying that in his press conference. We deserve to win. I don't understand that language. We deserve to win, like it's the right of kings.
Guys, on this point about we deserve to win, did anybody see that we actually had more clear-cut chances in that game than Chelsea did, with all their possession? Most of the chances they had were half chances. We were clean through on goal on 3 occasions. Clean through.
Yeah, I saw one. Talk me through that. The one that Kane missed, that where went wide. I thought it was.
Dragged it wide. He just dragged it wide. His lack of technique. And he dragged it wide. He should have scored. He scored that 9 times out of 10. He was clean through.
Yeah.
They just dragged him wide.
I think Chelsea
Kane had no business missing that goal. He had no business. But I
Agreed.
will forgive him. I'll forgive him because he scored that.
I was about to start leaning into HAG and his love for Harry Kane and saying, look at your captain dragging him wide. It's cost us 2 points. Then he shut me up. There you go.
Now, for those of you who don't know the context to this, I mean, we've got a WhatsApp forum and group whereby we have people who just sort of say all sorts of stuff, and it's very interesting, amazing banter, you know. But sometimes you kind of think, maybe people are going a little bit over the top here. But hey, I guess that's the nature of banter, free speech, and all that, right? But yeah, if you're watching us for the first time, like I said, this is Common Use Spurs TV. Leave your comments, like the page, and share with your friends and acquaintances. Our next match is against West Ham. Oh, sorry, Wolves, isn't it? Sorry, Wolves.
Wolves. It's Wolves at home.
Yeah, Wolves at home, and it's the 12:30 kickoff. We kick it off first. So, I kind of feel disappointed that we lost a 100% record.
No, but imagine being a Spurs fan, disappointed that you went to the bridge and didn't get 3 points.
You know, can you believe that? You know, that's how far we've come, isn't it? You know, that's
guys,
just
Wolves next week is going to be another test of how far we've come. We've
Absolutely.
gone to the bridge and we've drawn a game which we would have lost otherwise a season ago. We've got to go to Wolves and do them.
no, they're coming to us. Who's are coming to
They're
us?
coming to us,
Yes.
but they took points from
they're
us
coming to
last
us.
season. They're the ones that they took points from us last season.
That's correct. Yes.
We have to be winning. We have to be winning those.
Haven't you guys noticed that the first 3 matches we're having this season are matches against teams that kind of messed up our flow last season, if you like, you know?
Yeah.
First it was Southampton, who took 4 points from us last season. They came to the end and beat us. Okay, we drew away from home at theirs, and now Chelsea, who sort of trounced us 4 times last season, and then we have Wolves, who also took points from us. I think, did we go away and beat them as well? Didn't we? Last season.
I don't know.
We beat Wolves away.
We beat them away, right? Okay. Yeah, but they beat us at home, didn't they?
They beat us at home.
Yes. So that was
In a
even
game we
Stevens.
expected to win.
Exactly, a game that we expected to win. Exactly. So that was a bit
It was around
disappointing.
that Burnley, all those Burnley Wolves. There was points
Yeah,
that
Burnley,
we
Wolves,
It
Southampton.
was the up and
win
down
and lose.
time.
Yeah, exactly. We
Yes.
win and lose time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's when Conte was still trying to find his feet, and he was getting frustrated, and you know, he had that near meltdown situation.
But did anyone notice?
There was
Did
a
anyone
question
notice
you
that?
asked, which I think we should look into. You said in games like this where we are under the cosh, and every time we get the ball, they pressure us and they take it off us. You're wondering how we're going to deal with teams like that going forward. And my answer is we have the people, the players now with the technical ability that Harvard doesn't have. We have Bissouma now. We have Perisic. They're going to come into that team and they're going to change that. When you're under the cosh and you can turn and you can get away from a tight marker and a close tackle, it's going to make all the difference. And I think
Yeah, 'cause you have
that's the
spaces.
step up that we need to make.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because we'll have
I
more
think
space, we'll have more
the other
spaces,
thing
yeah.
I also like about the team is Bentancur. I mean, the reason I like Bentancur is the fact that he's so graceful. He has this amazing way of keeping things calm when he seems to be under pressure, you know. And he has a way of finding the right pass in the right positions, and it keeps it so simple, almost unnoticed, you know. I just love his game. Yeah, I love Bentancur.
We call him Berbatov, the midfielder.
Exactly.
Unhurried,
It's good.
calm. He knows exactly where the next pass is going before it gets to him. He's already